Welcome to the ArmaniTalks podcast. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this podcast, I'm helping you level up your 5 soft skills: public speaking, storytelling, social dynamics, emotional intelligence, and creativity. 5 soft skills for you to change your life forever and skyrocket your confidence along the way. In today's episode, we're entering the world of creativity, and I'm going to be discussing the ghostwriting epidemic. Nowadays, I can't check my DMs on any platform without getting a pitch. And the pitch comes in the format of, Mr. Armani Talks, I'm a big fan of your content. I like X, Y, and Z. But did you ever think about hiring a ghostwriter? Here are my prices. And each time I look at something like that, my first thing is, dude, I am not the person that you want to sell to. Because that is one thing I would never automate: the writing process. You trying to sell Armani Talks on a ghostwriting service is similar to a steak salesman trying to sell steaks to a vegan. Not going to happen. But what does happen is that a lot of popular creators are outsourcing their content to ghostwriters. And I can tell. And as soon as I see someone's content and I see the way that it's worded, I've talked to this person before, and I could tell that the content is not worded as this person normally talks. I'm somewhat disappointed because you, my friend, you're a big creator. You became big because you took the time to create your voice. And now you are doing something that I believe will hurt your brand in the long run. And this is something that I believe can also explain Disney's downfall as of late. Disney, if you ever read Walt Disney's autobiography, scratch that. It wasn't an autobiography. It was a regular biography. This biographer was analyzing Walt Disney's life. And you could tell that this biographer was understanding something about Walt. Walt was a creator. When he was creating animations, when he was creating shows, when he was creating the Disney theme park, in each chapter of Walt's life, he was a creator first and a businessman second. You can make the argument that around the end of Walt's career, he became everything that's wrong with capitalism. Some say that he sold out, but I would say for the large bulk of Walt Disney's career, he was a creator. But if you ever read Bob Iger's autobiography, this is not a biography, but an autobiography, which means it was written by Bob himself, his mindset is different. I'm not saying that Bob is not a creative guy, but I could tell that what Bob leads with is the acquisition mentality. So what he did throughout his rise to the top was that he bought a lot of the talent rather than build it. And when you buy a lot of the talent, you instill that attitude of, it's fine to get other people's talent. It's fine to get other people's writers. And when you can easily get other people's writers rather than honing a staff of skilled writers yourself, what happens is that the story is no longer king. The story must be king. And I think this is something that a lot of these brands nowadays that are outsourcing their content is going to learn the hard way. I think this is a big problem. I think what is happening with the mainstreamification of ghostwriting is equivalent to the bubonic plague for the internet. Because here's what happens. There's this rat race that's being created. There are ghostwriters that are seeing what's hot. Whether the hot thing is true or not, they're just seeing what is going viral. They create content on that. The algorithms reward that type of content. More brands are saying, oh, whoa, I need to sell out so I could be rewarded like that account right there. They do it. And now they're creating this cycle of a bunch of different accounts talking about the same exact shit. And from there, there's ripple effects. A lot of the followers of these big accounts are consuming these same manufactured ideas that are created with the intention of going viral rather than to spread the truth. And guess what happens? Now, the ghostwriters are actually having influence on the masses. So bubonic plague was destroying people's bodies. A lot of these ghostwriters are destroying people's minds. I think this is something that many folks should be alarmed by. And this is one of the reasons where I am very passionate about. I look down on ghostwriters. I get it, actually. I'm not going to say that all ghostwriters are bad. Some, I guess, can help you structure loose thoughts into a unified piece of content. But for the most part, in relationship to the ArmaniTalks brand, ghostwriters are scum. I do not respect them. I would never work with a ghostwriter. I think they lead to sloppy thinking. I think they are making brands take the easy way out. And I think they are a big culprit on a lot of brands losing their magical abilities. So I am thinking that this is actually going to get worse. I'm not going to end this episode on a good note. I think many more prestigious brands are going to outsource their content. They're going to hire ghostwriters. And one day, they are going to learn the error of their ways. You do not outsource the content. The content is always king. Thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks podcast, and I'll catch you next time.